Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Genius Days. Today we're talking about enthusiasm, enthusiasmos. Okay, enthusiasmos means being possessed by a god or the god inside or the god within. Okay, so we're basically here to talk about the divine spark that everyone has called enthusiasm. To begin, I have a disclaimer. Okay, this is from Mike Tyson's festival. He said, "Be safe, be kind, and be well." Okay, what's coming up for you on this topic, guys?
So basically, what's coming up for me is without enthusiasm, you can't sell anything. Without enthusiasm, you can't train in anything. Without enthusiasm, are you even living, right? What are you getting up to? What are you going to sleep with? What are you doing with your life without enthusiasm? I mean, in 10 minutes, I need to leave for a dinner with the family, right? Because of time schedules and blah, blah, blah. I feel stressed, but I realize there's a lot to gain still, and I'm enthusiastic to finally get out to eat again with the family. We haven't done this in at least half a year, or at least since the lockdown. It's like a year. And these small things make life a bit sweeter. Alejandro, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, I'm realizing that I realized this last night talking to my cousin. To have enthusiasm, you don't need to be hyped. I think a lot of times we people think that he started doing sales um for what's it called those solar panels. All right, he started doing that, and like the somebody in this team was like, "Yo, man, you're not selling, bro, because you're not excited. You're not excited. You need to be more hyped." And he's like, "Well, it's not really how I am. It's not really who I am. I'm not like a super hype ass person, right?" But talking with him and seeing what he knew about like the industry and um, how much people benefit from even getting the solar panels, like it was like I'm when I buy a fucking house, bro, I'm gonna hit him up and I'll be like, "Yo, bro, put some motherfucking solar panels up on the bitch," right? Because it was not about being hyped or not being hyped, but it was about being excited, and like basically, I'll put it like this: if it gives you energy, right? If it gives you energy, I think that's enthusiasm. You know. One more thing, I gotta say one more thing is so I planned I'm planning a trip to Machu Picchu next year. And so like that it's gonna be a 5 day hike, a trek. They call it a trek. Bro, when I started look looking up these places and like seeing like different packages and stuff like that, obviously making it more real for myself, I felt hella fucking excited. I felt like thrilled, and I hadn't even booked anything yet, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I knew that it was gonna happen. It would 100%. There's no way it's not happening. I'm 100% decided. It's not a wish. It's a decision, right? And so that I didn't realize how much excitement that brought me, right? That really brought me a lot of like feel good energy, and now I have like this, like I'm looking forward more to the future, you know. And so like, yeah, I mean, finding things that make you feel excited and like, yeah, use them in life, man. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for sharing, brother. And you know what came up for me is as you were talking, you said you made it more real for yourself, and I think that's a big key for the audience there because you've got to make something more real for yourself to really tap into that enthusiasm because it is our most highest self in a sense, right? Enthusiasm. If we're truly looking at the definition or the root etymology, and enthusiasmos meaning possessed by a god or God inside, that must mean that we are amongst gods on earth, right? And that there are angels all around us and demons all around us, and like for sure, like I will go with that mindset and belief and frame because it's a reminder of the polarity. Not only that, but to have enthusiasm by itself doesn't produce. It's like enthusiasm with initiative, with faith, right? And I think the concoction of those three things, faith, initiative, and enthusiasm, gets you to basically create a really powerful effect. And enthusiasm, it bears the same relationship. I believe it was Napoleon Hill who said that. Like it's the same relationship in a human being that steam does for a locomotive is enthusiasm for the human being, right? So that just tells me it's just powerful life force, right? It's something in that enthusiasm that is us becoming this conduit of momentum, energy, motivation, whatever you want to call that. And it means that your energy levels are up and it fills you with excitement, right? Like this guy, Daryl Anka, Bashar, some people call him, right? I don't know how you guys feel about channelers, but this man is brilliant, like he has a very clear ideology, and his formula to life is you have to follow your life's highest excitement, right? And he has a couple of like rules based on this idea where he's like, take action on the opportunity that contains the highest excitement, act on that excitement to the best of your ability, act on that excitement with absolutely zero insistence or assumption with respect to a specific outcome. And that's the three-part formula, right? So it's like you have to act on it, but you can't be attached to it. The attachment is one of the things that blocks people from enthusiasm because it also blocks your crown chakra. So yeah, that's what's coming up for me. It has a very energetic and spiritual angle. And I think once we're enthusiastic, we've got to move forward. All right, Ryan G's got to go. Peace out, brother. Welcome, Gio, to the chat, to the classroom, to the monastery, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, man, if you guys have any questions around enthusiasm as well, we'd be happy to dive in.
Yeah, so I love what you said, bro, and I wanna continue to expand on that. As you know, a lot of what we talk about relates to manifesting and having the life that you want, right? And really, I mean, when it really comes down to it, it's about having the life that you want. And so, let me tell you guys, last night I manifested some barbecue. So like, I'm on my way here to Mexico, right? I was like, I was fucking hungry. I was fucking hungry, and I was like, I wasn't paying attention, and then we passed by a town that has hella barbecue, like, and I was like, oh fuck, damn it, I should tell you to fucking pass by some barbecue. And the whole way there, I was like, oh, did they got barbecue there? Oh, they got barbecue there. They got barbecue. You know what I'm saying? And like, just like it became like everyone was like looking for it now at this point, like a store that had barbecue, right? Obviously, I mean, there was some, but it was closed because it was really late, like super fucking late, and in the middle of like Texas. But I was like, Eric. But it was like you probably wasn't you really want barbecue, and I was like, it would be nice, right? That's my new thing. It would be nice. That's the new thing that I'm using to like not have attachment, right? But also have like an intention. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, it would be nice to have some barbecue, right? Fucking next day at this party, they served barbecue. I got ribs, bro. Like, I was like, hell yeah, bro. I mean, that shit was dope. I was hella in alignment with that reality, you know? And like, um, I thought it was great, I mean, like, I got to get what I wanted without attachment, right? Without this is the
Yeah.
funny part, man. This is the paradox when it comes to manifesting. That like the more you desire, the more you push it away. The more you want it, you push it away. Why? Because when you say want, you're describing it as something separate from you. That's the reason. You're saying it's something separate from you. And so, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it makes sense to say that, if you want love, you have to be love first. Like that principle of we don't attract what we want, we attract what we are, right? Which is, yeah, a really powerful reminder, I think, for a lot of people. Because you do have to have this burning hot desire, but then not be attached to it or be kind of have this craving or this desperation mentality towards it. And more of like an openness, an allowance, whatever you want to call it, like a connection to it, you could say.
That's kind of like where
Connection.
like I personally wouldn't describe it as like a desire,
Yeah.
um, just because like I mean unless we could like make distinctions between the word desire, but I think we could. I think we should find a better word. But I'll tell you why. It's because like this isn't the same kind of desire as like, oh, I'd like a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? We're talking about literally soul urges here. You know, we're talking about what the soul came here to do. Like that type of shit really fucking fires you up, you know, really makes you feel alive, you know, and that's the shit, going after what makes you feel alive, right? Like that's the excitement we get from life, right? And like you don't have to generate energy if your soul fucking loves it. The more you don't love it, the more energy you have to try to generate. All right, that'll be personal energy, right? This is why people end up being emotionally exhausted, right? Because they're putting on and they're putting on a mask, and it's taking a lot of energy, right? But enthusiasm, bro, when something makes you feel excited as fuck, bro, you fucking wake your ass up at 3 a.m. You had your outfit ready. You don't care how many fucking hours of sleep you got, bro. Like, you know, I've had plane trips, you know, when I was much younger, you know, like when I was gonna take an international trip the next day, type of thing, and slept like I had to leave, you know, super early, slept like 2 hours, right? You know, slept in my clothes, and like, you know, got up early as fuck so I can go get to my plane and wait at the airport, right? But like that was like, you know, a younger version of me, obviously, right? But like back then, I'm like, oh fuck, wake up early, oh shit, you know, I don't really do that wake up early stuff, right? But like when I had that flight planned and everything, fuck, dude, like I was ready to go, dude. And so like part of like what I'm realizing these days is like it's really all about, a lot of it is about like having something to look forward to, right? In life, whatever that
100%.
may be.
100%, bro. 100%. Like I fully agree with that statement. Like what you just said. It's because happiness is a consciousness of growth, man. I forgot who said this, but it's so true. You have to look forward to something, otherwise you're gonna just be stagnant. You're gonna fizzle out. You know what I mean? And yeah, what you were saying earlier as well around that topic. You were speaking around. Well, what was that? What was the last thing you said, Ivan?
I was talking about how you don't have to generate energy, and you have to have something to look forward to in order to have that
Yeah.
agenda energy.
in order to have that energy. Yeah.
In
Yeah,
order to
man.
tap in.
To tap in. Yeah, man. I was actually talking with Yogi Chris quite recently, and I said, I don't know. I just felt like I was messing with time management, like I couldn't make things on time and stuff like this, and then he was like, how's your your girl situation going? And I was like, way better than before. I'm texting like 8 or 9 girls now, whereas earlier I was like texting only like two. And he was like, well, you don't seem to have any problem with time management or scheduling when it comes to that. I was like, fuck, man, like that's true. That's true. So it depends on like the actual like instinct and the movement of the desire, right? Like the actual motivation rather than like you moving, which is non-survival based, right? Because one is survival based, like go like attracting women is survival based, right? That gives you a lot of motivation. Um, what else is survival based? I guess if you're like in some environment where you need to survive, like you're pushed to survive, that's survival based. So yeah, I think it's like enthusiasm like saves you in the moments where you need to survive, right? It like helps you to thrive. Like if you have extra enthusiasm, um, you can allow yourself to move with that vibrance or that energy to the end result.
I'm not sure I can.
What's good?
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure, bro. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so we had a question from Young Hero. He said, how do you balance detachment and desire versus desire?
um, let me see. Let me think about this for a second. Um, so detachment, it's like, look, it's so weird, bro. Like, it's just like a very weird like thing because you kind of like know it's gonna happen though. Like that's how it feels inside. Like you know it's gonna happen, right? That's how I feel about it. Not about the question itself, but like about like the state of being in it. It's it's just a straight knowing. Like I'm detached because I'm detached on the time that it's gonna happen. But I'm in full knowing that it's gonna happen. So I'm not worried about when it's gonna happen. You feel me? That's
Right.
how it works for
Yeah,
me.
because if it works in that time frame, then you're just adding, yeah, an impatience into the mixture, which is like really whack for manifesting. Right. If you're really impatient, you can't manifest. Right. So yeah, like being unattached to time, like that's a really good one. That's a really good one when it comes down to manifestation for sure.
But as well though, like depending on your vibration, the higher your vibration gets, bro, you can start to make like, manifestations according to time. Like you can start putting that intention in, right? And like having just full faith, full fucking faith, bro. Like the stories I've heard of people,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, just like your barbecue example, you set it out into the physical universe, like, hey, you guys want to do barbecue maybe? And like someone heard it and they were like, oh yeah, maybe barbecue does sound like a good idea, right? And so they were in agreement with your vibration,
Hmm.
right? So enough people get in agreement with your vibration, it will start to form a lot faster because it's adding more enthusiasm to the mix, right? So yeah, that's kind of how I visualized it. It like gets stronger as more people start to imagine it in their thought universes.
Hmm. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, time. So yeah, like I've heard people be like, "Yo, fuck, I really need $10,000, like now, right?" And they'll get it, and then there'll be like somebody that calls them up, and be like, hey man, um doing like donations or whatever, like, oh, I just got an inheritance and I want to split a piece of that with you, like that kind of thing, you know what I mean? And it ends up being so like dope, you know, that because like for real, like I mean, if it's meant for the highest good, you'll get it. Like it really does work like that. And um my intentions and stuff, um lately I've been sending them to the most high, right? Like making a connection with the most high and setting my intention and saying, you know, it would be nice. It would be nice. Because it would be nice. It would be nice. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna fucking die if it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like something if that doesn't happen, then something else will come up. So like, but this is my preference. This is what I would like. You know what I'm saying? Like what like when they tell you on the airplane, um or when you book a hotel, they're like, is there any accommodations that you would like from us? And then it says, we don't know. We're not 100% sure able to you know, make these happen, but if you have something in mind, please let us know. Right? They're like, I've checked in hotels, in basically it says that, right, that they could accommodate you, but they don't know, like let them know what you want, and they might or might not be able to do it for you, right? So you can say shit like having a parking spot on site or whatever, or having some vegan options on the menu, whatever it is that you want, right? The universe works the same way. They're like, it's like, let me know what you want. I can't always get you that, right? But we'll see what we can do, right? So that's what I gotta say.
I got something too. Can y'all hear me?
Gio, yeah, fuck yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, man. So enthusiasm, man. The way I see it is like the more we express about our passion, what we like doing, the more we talk about it, the more enthusiastic you'll feel about it. And of course, we don't like expressing that to just anyone because well, when someone doesn't like what we like, it feels it puts our energy down, like the feeling of rejection, like man. But it's like the more often we express what we want, the better we feel. And like yeah, when people agree with our passion or enthusiasm, they're like it increases the energy even more. And one way that I see a good way to measure how enthusiastic you are is I think told you guys this before, but it's asking yourself the question, how old do you feel on the inside? And what number pops in your head, that's your energy level. You know, like for example, me, I feel like I'm 15. Believe it or not, that's on the inside. That's how I really feel. Uh, Enthusiasm, yeah, man. It's passion. What else? What else? There's something else. Passion, enthusiasm. Man. No, that's all I got, man. And I agree with everything you guys said too. It's like, yeah, man. So all connected. Just yeah, man. That's what I got.
Fuck
That's
yeah.
dope, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying fuck yeah.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys, how old do you guys feel?
35.
And I feel like I'm 20, yeah, around 20.
That's very interesting. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know because I've been asking people that quite a bit and I've had so many different responses, especially from the females.
That's cool.
They're like 15, 10 years older. Like close to my targets, they feel like they're 30 and 40, but they're only 20. So it's like, damn, this world's so fucked up. But yeah, man. Well, keep being
Now,
enthusiastic, man.
it's a cool question though. It's a cool question, but if I'll say, because people can answer it differently. Because I can come up with multiple answers just off of that question. Like how do I feel like where I'm at in my life? like for sure, I'm like 30 years old, bro. But like, if you ask me how I feel internally, um, in terms of like, um, how I how I feel as an aged being, I feel ageless. Like I don't have an age. Like, you know, that's how I feel. Like, you know, I could be any age. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be like a kid, and I could be like an old person, and I could be like a wise, a sage. Like I just am. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't. I celebrate my birthday, but I don't really like. I don't really take it too serious, like what number it is or whatever shit like that. You know, I just I celebrate it just because like, you know, it's good. It's good to celebrate that I'm still alive. You
Yeah,
know.
it's like the little node in the infinity, you know what I mean? It's like you've crossed over a bunch of times and it's like it's cool. It's like a checkpoint on the video game, you know? It's like a cool thing.
It's like those like car races. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Totally.
Checkpoint.
That that reminds me as well. Like Nipsey Hussle, he has this like strain of weed, right? It's called marathon, right? And I think it was like his mentality of life to have this like marathon mentality, right? Which means that it's keeping on going. So that means life is like a marathon. So you've got to pace yourself, basically, right? And I really like that analogy, specifically what you said, Gio, about passion and this idea of also, I believe, charisma and things like this associated to enthusiasm as well.
Yeah,
Nipsey, you
man.
go, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Because what I've been noticing more and more that like the way our other brother they game with other women, like Joey, Chris, and the other brothers, they when they speak to women, they speak to what they're really passionate about. Like it's like they're really passionate about, or like what they're really focused on the subjects, certain subjects, and that's what they were expressing. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one doing that. And I thought that was really cool, man. But yeah, man, that was a point that I noticed.
That's really dope, brother. Man, this is such an interesting topic to me, like enthusiasm. Like, so I think we have a question from Young Hero. Okay, so on the days you don't feel enthusiastic, what mindset shifts or things help you get back on track? Well, for me personally, I like to play like a weird song, like from a genre that I've never heard before, like some weird like country or like just explore a new genre of music and play something from that. It just sparks new neurons and new novelty in my brain, and then from there it starts to ripple effect from that itself. So any kind of novelty would be a great way to get your enthusiasm back, and also speaking the truth out loud, like whatever you really really need to say that you've been holding in, just saying it and speaking it out loud into your environment wherever you are, just saying it out loud and exposing all the impurity from your communication, right? That's another thing that really helps enthusiasm. And the third one that I do is I really like to imagine the end result like in a supreme way, like a very vivid, like 8K dimension, like visualization, and I just fully imagine I'm fully immersed into it. Like all my senses are being used. Um, yeah, I like to put one hand on my head and one hand on the back of my head. That helps. Touching the occipital lobe helps for visualization. So yeah, those are the top three things I probably do: is play a weird song, yeah, and the other two.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen? I know you've seen it soon. The Love Guru, right? He's got a
Yeah,
formula,
Guru
bro.
Pitka.
He's got a formula, bro. Like for change, like that he uses, right? And I'm not even gonna fucking lie with you, bro. That shit, I don't know what they did their research. Like that formula works, right? So the first thing is distract, right? And so like your mind is on a track, right? And it's building image after image on this track, right? And so what you need to do is you need to completely like even fucking remove the track, like literally just cut it, That's like what you need to do. Just cut it out. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
Which
Yep. I said like
you basically decide, which actually means to cut. That's
yeah.
what the word means.
And so
Yeah.
what you do is you create like a funny abstract image in your head, right? And it'll like pull you away from like all the other images, right? Because for what, like your brain, yeah, you gotta like hack your brain. You know what I'm saying, bro? And like that's how your brain be working. Like it just be creating images and shit. And then when you create like an abstract funny image, like it forces your brain to stop and like reanalyze what's going on, right? And then here, like you can then after that you can insert like gratitude, things you're positive about, things you know are good about the day, and things you know that are good about you. Like you know, you start talking about like absolutes, like what is absolutely true, you know, and like let's just say ego is not absolute truth, right? My soul is absolute truth. You know what I mean? And so like playing around with the images in your head, I would say, because like that's where you connect to the world. You connect to the other worlds. You find the other worlds through your head. It's a head thing. You know what I mean? Like you know your heart. You could talk about like you know that's like a protective shield. You can say it's the strongest part of the aura, right? Is in the heart. You know, but like if we're talking about like and you by the way also real quick you can check your heart and see like what are your deepest desires, you know, through your heart. Um, but then but when we're talking about like scanning and finding worlds, we're talking about the head. We're talking about the pineal gland. That's what it does. You know, each body part has to serve its own purpose, right? And it's a channel essentially. It's like a door. It's a portal, right? And your imagination is the is basically like the guide to the other worlds, right? We think about imagination as like for kids and shit. Nah, bro, that's like how you fucking literally portal hop like, straight up, you know. Because if you can see it, you can get there. And if you're not able to see it yet, you're not gonna be able to get there. Simple as that, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah, man, and honestly, that's why I'm so thankful that I watched like hella cartoons when I was younger. You know, I can just make myself laugh at any time with different voices and like keep myself fully entertained. You know, in my own internal world, and it's such a gift to be able to do that because, yeah, honestly, to be enthusiastic, like you've got to one thing is to like understand when you're linking your movement with your sound, it's a powerful mixture for creativity and manifestation, right? So a lot of people, they don't want to look weird, right? They don't want to look silly, they don't want to look goofy, they have all this like pretense or this mask, like Ivan was saying, right? And so the weirdest exercises that you see, the bioenergetics or like the jumping up and down, like in theater classes, right? And now my little white pony, or these weird ass like theater exercises that they used to make us do. All were there to kill the ego, right? Temporarily, so that it becomes more like Play-Doh, and then we can build on top of that in a sense. So gibbering, you know, like moving like in weird ways, like that are non-traditional, like you know, doing very fringe type of things can get you enthusiastic again because it's that novelty, like I was saying earlier, right? Like if you go on an isolation float tank tomorrow, you'd be excited because you're like, holy shit, I've never experienced that before, right? It's like that's a new experience, and so we're looking for these experiences because we're experience seekers as human beings. Extroverted people, more explorers; introverted people, more perspective shifters; and ambivert people who are perspective explorers, right? So really understanding that, yeah, like the head and the heart have got to come together, and starting from the root chakra of safety, going into passion, going into willpower, going into love, going into truth, which is our expression of the throat, going into, you know, our eye that sees through all of illusion in the world. Like it's an illusion blaster or whatever. And then we finally go into like I said, that the divinity or the enthusiasmos, the God within us. So yeah.
Yeah, I got
Gio,
something
you
else,
wanna,
man.
yeah, go
It's
ahead.
like for that question that the brother asked. Whenever you're feeling down, not enthusiastic, imagination is the key. And I love this phrase that I heard Arash said. When you can open the door to any imagination, any realm, and any parallel is using the what if. What if, like for example, when a girl doesn't text you back, you know, when what if, just tapping into another what if she's constantly thinking about me, or she's blowing up my phone. And it takes willpower to dive into that world, but it's as soon as you open the what if and you say it and you dive deeper, you'll start feeling enthusiastic. Your energy will start changing. Oh man, there's so many, it's universal. You can use the what if in so many ways. We know it's when you fail to communicate with someone, with another girl, it's like, what if I can't get my message across? What if she does understand me? What if I am a good communicator? Oh, what if I am the greatest seducer here in Arkansas Hot Springs? Just hold that sentence, tap in, and that's my answer.
Yeah, I love the magical what if. That's a really great one. It's like, yeah, acting as is. It's like it's tapping into that particular frequency, the what if. But also the thing is, a lot of us human beings, we use what if in the negative, and that keeps us in a downward spiral, right? So the magical what if is like this idea of, hey, let's actually bring attention to the light and see what is already there. And there might be a line of possibility. So as long as you have that line of possibility alive, you have enthusiasm. If you cut it off, it's going to seem impossible, and you're going to shut down in your energy. That's just from my own observation. You got to have like a line of possibility alive constantly. And if you're like, I'm not that kind of person, you just say yet, or I don't know if I can do it yet, right? I will be one day, right? It creates this line of possibility, and you can ride the wave of that to get yourself out of those stuck states. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, bro, do you mind if we cut now?
No, I don't mind. Let's do it. All right. Thank you for being here, guys. A shorter episode this time. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day. May the flow be with you. Be the best. Fuck the rest. May you never be the same again. Let's get it.
And sign up for Writing Reality. Deuces.